it's Sarah Clay, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to write LinkedIn posts that people actually want to read. And not only will they read them, they'll comment on them as well. But first of all, I just want to tell you there's some really exciting stuff going on at Sarah Clay Social. So bear with me, I'll explain all that at the end. So let's dive in, and I'm going to show you how to write posts on LinkedIn that people will read. So LinkedIn is a little bit different from the other platforms. LinkedIn isn't so much about a numbers game, it's about connections. You really need to make those connections on LinkedIn. So in order to do that, you need to have a really, really strong presence on LinkedIn. So how do you do that? Well, a strong presence on LinkedIn starts with a really good LinkedIn profile, and a really good LinkedIn profile starts with your photo. A really, really nice photo can make such a huge difference on LinkedIn. So make sure that the photo that you use is a nice one of you. You look approachable, you look authoritative, and hopefully you're looking into camera and you're smiling. So no dogs, no babies. This is not Facebook, and it's certainly not Instagram. So that's your photo. What's the next thing? Your banner. Yeah. Now, a really nice banner on LinkedIn can make a world of difference. It's so visible. For heaven's sake, please, 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 anything is better than the LinkedIn stars that they give you. So get a banner. You can use a stock photo or a photo of your own, or you can even design something on Canva or Photoshop, depending on your skill set. I can help you with that. If you need any help with designing a banner, just give me a shout, that's fine, but you need a good banner. Then below your banner and your photo is your headline. Now that's 120 characters on a computer or 220 on a phone, and that needs to be absolutely watertight, saying what you do, who you help, and how you're going to help them. That's the first thing that people are going to read about you, and that headline goes with you everywhere on LinkedIn. So make sure it's bang tight, says what you do, who you're helping. Really, really important. And then you've got your about section. Now your about section is long, but it's not just a CV. It's a lot more than that. You need to put stuff about you in there. And you can also put in there your wins and achievements. It's a great, great section. So, okay, you've got your profile, you're all sorted, and you are ready to go. What's the next thing you need to do on LinkedIn? You need to show up. You need to show up really, really regularly on LinkedIn, and you need to be commenting on other people's posts, diving into those discussions, talking about the stuff that you want to talk about on LinkedIn. If you're not commenting on other people's posts, people won't know you're there. So the other thing is on LinkedIn, make sure you're connecting with the right people. It's a little bit like being at a party and being in the wrong room otherwise. If you're at a party and you're in a room with people that you don't really engage with, you don't know what they're talking about really, you're not interested, they're not interested in you, and no matter how kind they are and how polite you all are, there's really no point in you being in that room. So on LinkedIn, don't be in the wrong room. Make sure you're engaging with the people that you need to engage with, A, to do business, and B, to have a nice time. So choose your audience wisely and make sure you stick with them. So let's get into actually writing some posts. So talking about your audience, make sure that everything you write on LinkedIn is for your audience. So let's say, for example, you want to do business with acrobats. Why not? So think about what acrobats want to talk about. What interests them? So would you write about fitness? Yeah, you probably would. Would you write about exercise, yoga, Pilates, that kind of thing? Yes, you probably would. Would you write about high finance? You might not. So make sure that whatever you're writing about on LinkedIn appeals to your audience. Now, the next thing on LinkedIn is to keep it simple. Whenever you write your posts on LinkedIn, make sure that your writing is really, really readable. Now, here's a statistic you might not know, but on average, the reading age on social media is between 11 and 13. I know it sounds really, really crazy, but think about how fast social media moves. It's really whizzing along. So you need to make sure that your content is really, really accessible. And you never, ever hear anybody say, well, I certainly don't. Excuse me, could you make that a little bit more complicated? No, so keep it simple, keep your writing simple. And when you're designing your text, make sure you're using spaces, and you can even use emojis so that it's actually really physically easier for for people to read because it's all spaced out and it just looks better. Talking of visuals, to have a visual along with your text is a really good idea on LinkedIn, because then when your post is nestling in somebody's feed, they're more likely to see it. And again, it's about using photos, stock photos, images that you make on software such as Canva or Photoshop or whatever. So make sure you've got some appealing visuals with your posts, and then people are more likely to engage with it. Okay, so the next thing is how much you write. So people often say to me, Sarah, how long should my posts be on LinkedIn? So we're talking about posts here, not articles. Articles on LinkedIn are much longer form. Posts, you've got a maximum of 1,300 characters, which is around about 200, 230 words. Now, should you fill the whole lot, or should you just write less? Okay, so what you do need to do on LinkedIn is write more than 3 lines. I'll explain about that another time, but make sure you write more than 3 lines on LinkedIn. So if you're starting out, I would say write about 600 characters probably, and see how it goes. Your audience might prefer slightly longer form posts. So test it out and see, write some longer ones, write some shorter ones, and just see how your audience respond. Okay, now the other thing that people on LinkedIn love is the discussion. They absolutely do. If there's something that they can get their teeth into and to talk about, people on LinkedIn love giving their opinion in a really, really good, positive way. It's fantastic. So maybe write about something a little bit controversial. Don't go mad. You don't want to start a war, but something a little bit controversial, or a question. So you could put a viewpoint forward and then ask at the bottom, what do you think? Has this happened to you? And then people are going to comment, because that's the nature of the way that LinkedIn works. And the more people comment, then other people will comment as well. And it kind of builds, and it's fantastic. And that's really good for the LinkedIn algorithm. But let's talk about that another time. Okay, so there you are, my lovelies. Just a few ideas to help you get more readability and more comments on your posts on LinkedIn. So I talked about something happening in Sarah Clay Social. Well, I'm running another Learn to Love LinkedIn course. Yes, I'm so excited. So previously, I've had some fantastic results from my students who have tripled, quadrupled, multi-tupled their comments and likes and their profile views and followers and all of that kind of stuff. I've had some really, really good results. So I'm going to be running another Learn to Love LinkedIn 4-week epic course really, really soon. So I'd love you to jump on that wait list so I can let you know when it's going live. So in my comments below is the link, and you can just hop onto that link and sign up into my waitlist. There's no obligation for my Learn to Love LinkedIn course. And it's a great course. I absolutely love teaching it. You get me 3 times a week live in the Facebook group, and we just chat, and I send you tasks, bite-sized chunks, tasks and stuff to help you really, really smash it on LinkedIn. So if you're interested, sign up to my waitlist. Any comments about this video, pop them below. I'd love to read them. And I really hope that I want to see your posts on LinkedIn. Tag me in your posts and you'll at least get me commenting. So it's been great talking to you, and I hope you've loved the video, and I hope to see you really, really soon. See ya.